good morning, good afternoon, good night. Don't know what time it is. Well, welcome back to My Opinion, You're Welcome. We're going to try something new today. What we're going to do is we're going to play a little game. Somebody put together about 50 different topics or titles. And so what I'm going to do is look at it and give you my opinion for maybe 30, 45 seconds. I might not know what the hell I'm talking about, but we're going to have a lot of fun. We are going to turn this into a game to where you can participate because we have a brand new phone number to where you're able to call, you're able to text, you can leave a message. We'll do it on the show, but we're going to have fun. So, let's see what we got the first one. Crime show people. Well, I'm a CSI fan, and I love CSI. But if you notice, there was different shows, different states, which was fun. They're all real sexy places, Vegas, Miami. But I could never do that. I get a paper cut, I'm calling my mother. See a spider, I'm calling my mother. But crime show people, God bless them. You got to have the nerves of steel to do something like that. Number 2, summertime. Summertime is beautiful. Think about it. Everybody's out in the sun. They're enjoying the beach. More people are exercising. You have vacations. You get to barbecue. You get to do a lot. I love the summertime. Now, I can't barbecue, but I can walk the fuck out of anything you need, let me tell you. So summertime is a perfect time. Then we have food snacks. Oh, cutest thing in the world. My nephew's little boy, his nickname is Snacks. And the reason being, every time I see the little guy, he's eating food. And my brother or his mom is the one that gave him that nickname. Food snacks, they could be either good, they could be either bad, but they're kind of like mindless. Like I go get myself a drink at certain stores, and you see a million little snacks out there. They're there to tell you, hey, buy me, buy me, buy me. I got willpower, but I love snacks. Political parties, are you fucking kidding me? Well, what do we have? We have the Republicans, we have the Democrats, we have the Catholics, just fucking with you. We have the religious groups. We have a lot of different political parties. If everybody paid attention, they all have the same thing. It's interesting how politics plays a big part in all of our lives and we don't even realize it. And it's not just about political parties. At your work, there's political issues. There's politics. There's politics all around us. I think if we really want to work with each other, we need to listen because you have the Republicans doing this, the Democrats doing this. One controls the House, one controls the Senate. And neither party's ever controlled the presidency. We've had great presidents and shitty presidents. But political parties, let's see if they can go away one day. Then we have migration. Well, first of all, I thought it said migraine, so I don't have my glasses on, so I might be reading shit that's not here. I think it's interesting. What kind of migration are we talking about? Human beings? Or are we talking about birds? Now, I know a lot about birds because I watch shows at night because I live by myself. It's pretty lonely. It's a pretty fucked up life. But I watched a show the other night. You see those birds when they fly like this all together? You wonder, how the fuck can they do that? Because if you take humans, very few fucking people, single file, there's a bomb. People just start running. So I think migration is really cool, but I love watching all the different animal stories and seeing Disney has a great show, and it's all about the migration of animals to when different times of the world. Can you imagine? Not times of the world. What the fuck was that? Different times of the year. Can you imagine if we migrated as humans around and around and around? It'd be very interesting. Anyhow, hard-boiled eggs. Let me tell you about those motherfuckers. They are the greatest gift in the world for someone like me who can't cook. Now, years ago, I lived in Beverly Hills, lived in a house, wonderful time. Went to Google. Google tried to teach me how to hard-boil egg. You could put it in the microwave. Well, sitting there watching a football game on a Sunday, all of a sudden we thought someone was shooting at us. The microwave exploded. Cost $7,000 because the wiring went out, a hole in the wall, the people's houses next to us, everything went out. So I can't hard-boiled eggs. So if anybody has any suggestions, the number below, please let me know because I go to Google for a lot of stuff, and that's why I'm single. And I can only cook 2 things. What do we got next here? Let's see. We got lasagna. Oh, mother of God. Best lasagna story in the world. I think lasagna is awesome. My opinion is you got to have someone who knows what the hell they're doing. If you can't put the lasagna, the burger, the sauce, the cheese, oh, frick me Jesus. Thank God there's a table here. You'd see how happy I am. I had a friend of mine when we lived in New York. She invited a bunch of us over. She's like, I'm going to make you lasagna. We're like, this is wonderful. We get there. Everybody's sitting. There were 4 people. Stuck my fork in. It was like a crunch. Well, God bless you. She didn't realize you had to boil the lasagna. And so it was like one of the funniest things I'd ever experienced in my life. God bless her. One of the guys there, because he would eat anything, He just ate. God bless you, Jai. Are you thinking about lasagna? Anyhow, it was a very fun day that day. Kobe Bryant, how brilliant. An amazing player, an amazing person from what you can read and know. I never knew the man, but loved watching him play and loved hearing him speak when he was done about motivation and how to do things. Loved what he did. Loved the fact that he was a dad for his girls, a girl dad or whatever the popular term is. Now you had the dark side. Let's not forget that. You can't just give everybody something popular. When something happens with somebody, we weren't there. We don't know what happened. But just one of the greatest basketball players, and the things he did off the court were wonderful. The businesses, the people he helped. It's sad, very sad that the man's gone, but still love watching. I watch old shows, games, old interviews. Social media has him on all the time talking, and if you listen to him, he doesn't say anything that really doesn't make sense. He's really wonderful. Fast food. Seriously now, what's wrong with this country? Is it really fast food? It's the people who buy it. Everybody wants to say it's not good. Well, first of all, I look at it this way. I have a friend always saying, well, we have all these problems when you go in the store. They have all these foods that are fattening and greasy. Some people can't afford anything else. So let's get real. Maybe it's not the greatest food in the world, but at every place now, they're getting healthier. They have better things for you to eat, better menus, healthier menus. So it's about your choice. Let's not always blame a company or a corporation. Let's take a look at the people, because I swear to God, my favorite thing is I took care of a dog about 4 years ago. He was with me for a long time, and we'd go to McDonald's, and I'm sure people aren't going to think this was fun, but we had a blast, he and I. He would have some sweet tea with me. He'd have a little sausage patty. Then in the afternoon, we'd go to Taco Bell, and he'd have some nacho fries. Yes, I got to tell you, if you want a dog to love you, that's how you get him to love you. Then we have Radio AM. Please don't let it go away. I read these things where Radio AM might go away. There's a lot of great news. There's a lot of great sport. And there's a lot of people out there. If you listen to Radio AM, you've got a lot of great people giving their opinions, because that's what this is about. Because you think about it. Any sports show you watch, any news show, whether it's Fox, CBS, NBC, Good Morning America, Good Night Your Ass, whatever the fuck you watch, the reality is these are opinions. There's facts, but people give opinions on that. So just wanted to throw that out there to you. God, now he's my buddy. Yes, I know people have sent me some really interesting messages because of the video that we did before. Look, I believe in God. I know there's a God. I don't have a problem with that. My problem is you people out there that think that you're reading something thousands of years ago, and it's a great story. I'm not taking away, but I have an opinion, and there's nothing wrong with that. When we start trying to negate somebody because their thoughts are different, you'll never hear me say anything about God. I just think the stories and the people that wrote it might have been a little different, because let me tell you something. If I was there back then, there'd have been Jesus and then Dennis. That's right. I'd have named myself Baby Jesus. Then we have tampons and tiaras. I got to tell you, isn't this every man's dream to think about? The reason why I say that is I have some friends. They've got some daughters, 5 daughters actually. And the dad said to me one day, he watched a TV show and he was telling me about it. And I was laughing my ass off. And they said, you know what? The star in there was right. My whole life is tampons and tiaras. The funny thing is, real quick story. I had a dear friend of mine that passed away recently, and when he was younger, he had 2 daughters before he had a 3rd son. So we go to the store one day, and his wife gave a list. So we're shopping and everything. The bottom of the list was tampons. He didn't want to get them. So me, being a person that wants to please people, I went and got this big old thing of tampons, and he's in the line checking out, and I'm like, hey, G! He left everything there, went in the car, took off, and left me there. He was so embarrassed. Man, don't be embarrassed. It's part of life. For Christ's sake, you big wieners. The saying, nice guys finish last. Well, I'm going to finish last, but I'm not a nice guy. Really? Who comes up with this shit? I know it's not me. My opinion is it's true to a degree. But if you don't have a problem coming in last, then you know what? You got to get a little rough. You got to get a little edgy. You got to be transparent. Say what you need to say. I think it's a nice thing to say, and so many people, when there's so many sayings out there, everybody sticks with them. But I don't really know a lot of nice guys. I know a lot of great guys, and maybe it's because I've surrounded myself with nothing but assholes at times. But then again, that's me. Then we have new movies versus old movies. Let's get real. I love old television shows. My mother, before she passed away, I'd go and I'd spend time with her. We'd watch this channel, had all the old Westerns. The best part was you'd see me sitting here and you'd see shadows there and shadows there. Then you'd see a boom over here. And the way they did them was wonderful because that's the technology they had then. All movies are great to me. My problem is when you want to recreate something that was a TV series, there's nothing wrong with that. But Jesus, make it funny. Bring it up to modern. You can't recreate something that was done in the 1970s. Bring it up to modernization with people, with cultures, with religion, with reality of what's going on right now. But new movies, there's a lot of good ones. There's a lot of crap. It's just an opinion. There's a lot of great shows to watch. I got to tell you, Netflix, cool channel, but get some new shit, will you? The writer's strike can't be the excuse why you have the same thing over and over and over. And, I just realized the other day I've been paying for a subscription, I guess that's what you call it, for 6 years. Since Netflix started. Didn't know that. Another thing is people check your bills to see if you're paying, because I got no idea. Then we have Quentin Tarantino, brilliant mind. Don't want to look at the guy. Kind of scares me. It's like, have you ever seen that old horror movie where there's a guy who's bald-headed and he comes out and he's like that? That's what Quentin Tarantino reminds me of. Brilliant mind, brilliant director. Nothing against him, but just don't want to watch the man. Let's see. Ping pong versus pickleball versus tennis. Tennis, it's a new game. It's a combination of tentacles and testicles. Yes, it's fun. Ping pong, awesome. I suck. 5-year-olds beat my ass and they stand on a stool. Pickleball, it's amazing because there's so much money people can make in it now. Anybody of any age can do it, and it's really taken the country by storm. And tennis, I love tennis. I like to watch all the tennis matches. Amazing athletes, what they do, and great exercise for people. And the reality is, at any age, you can play this. But let's get real. If you play ping pong and you think you're getting exercise, you're a fucking idiot. There's no exercise in ping pong unless you're the pros or in the Olympics where you're hitting it 50 feet behind. People like me, the only exercise is reaching across, grabbing the ball, reaching across, then going for some of this. Hold on. That's what it sounds like. God bless you. Gaming tournaments. I thought this said something else, and this is a PG show, so I don't know fuck about gaming tournaments, to be honest. I'm just kidding. I actually know a lot because I'm an intellectual being. I've watched the gaming tournaments, and we're going to the next one now. Thank you. Mental health awareness. Boy, you're talking to a guy who's psychotic standing here. I think it's amazing, but I'm so tired of everything having 1 month. 1 month of mental health, 1 month of African-American history, 1 month of breast cancer. It's with us all our lives. It's with us 12 months. When you compartmentalize something like this, it goes away. A good example, Black Lives Matters. The WNBA, God, they're amazing. You still hear about it. NBA, they're not around much. NFL, no. But keep things out there all the time. That's the only way we're going to ever help each other or help ourselves. Jesus, these are getting harder. The pyramids in Egypt. I'm not a fucking geologist, for Christ's sake. Wait, no, that's gyms. Those are different things. I'm not anyhow, I saw a movie on them once, and I really liked it. The great thing I know is we can't recreate them. But think about it. There are people, like a friend of mine who does the show with me on other days, who actually believe that aliens came down and built these babies. Now, I don't know the truth, but the stories and the thoughts and the possibilities are phenomenal. I'd love to visit one day, but I'm not sure if you can go visit when you're a felon. Okay, what do we got next here? We have AirPods. Oh, I got it. This is a good one today. I was over doing some work, and I put them in, what do you call that thing? A charger. That's pretty good. I put them in the charger, and then I got my car, and I'm driving. I'm like, well, I got to answer the phone. I felt naked. I drove back 30 minutes to get the AirPods. When I first got them, I was nervous they're going to fall out of my ears. Then I realized my ears aren't that fucking big. And so they work. But I think they're the greatest thing in the world. And here's the best part. When I have them in and I'm around people, they think I'm on the phone. I just don't want to talk to them. That's the best use for them. Then we have teenage pregnancy. That's a tough one. It's very difficult because in the work I do, I talk to a lot of women and men who've had babies when they were teenagers. A lot of it depends on why you have it, whether it's accidentally become pregnant or you're in love with somebody and that person, if you know that person might be not going to be around for a long time, so you have someone to remind you of. It's difficult. It's difficult in this country. Now that you have these laws passed by these people in Texas and other places to where, girls can't get abortion, women can't get, it's only going to make it harder. Babies are going to be unborn, and more trauma is going to happen to that child. So I think we need to rethink things. And all those people who voted for overturning Wade versus Roe. They need to be taken out, put in the backyard. Then you bury them. And then what you do is you get a really big lawnmower like they do in redneck states, and you drive over their heads. Then we have Drew Thursday. Drive through. I already read that one twice. See, I can't read. WNBA. Freaking awesome. I'm blessed to have season tickets. Second row. Right off center. I haven't gone yet. I have tickets for the LA Kings, great seats. Haven't gone in 3 years. I think it's always wonderful that I've got a lot of friends and associates that love them so they can go to the games. But it's fun to watch. The men, I love men's sports, but let's get real. Jesus, they whine and cry over a freaking hangnail. Now, I whine and cry over a sliced finger paper cut because it hurts like a mother. But the reality is they're great to watch. They're competitors. There's not the whining and crying. The WNBA, the women's pro soccer, the women's Olympic soccer, women's fast pitch, college, they're so fun and exciting. It's bang, bang, bang. I'd watch it any day over the NBA. There you go. Submarine disaster. Well, it's an interesting one. As you can see, my voice is changing. It's a sad thing, but at the same time, in all reality, I don't care. Because when you want to do something so you can say you were the first person, or you can say you just can do something that somebody else, and I don't mean that callously, a life, no one wants to see a life taken, but I'm pretty sure that I've seen a lot of documentaries and things on the Titanic, but when you're willing to jeopardize yourself, that's your deal. I don't feel bad for the situation. Now, the people left behind, that's the part that is really bothersome. But I've saw some of the shows that watch these things collapse. Well, first off, you're going to die. Great way to go because you don't have to feel any pain. I mean, don't recommend it. Obviously, you got to have a lot of money in order for that to happen. But I just find it pretty sad that someone is so arrogant and so selfish that they would jeopardize themselves and their families to do something like that. Family approval. Well, there's a good one for you because my family does not approve of me. It's like the FDA stamp. Boom. No. It took a lot of years for me to deal with that. I have family members. I have an aunt right now who still calls me the black sheep. And I'm like, first of all, I'm the gray area sheep now. And second of all, it doesn't matter. I know we're born and it's families, cultures, whatever, and we need approval by our family. We want them because, they've lived a great life or they've done something or they follow God or they follow this. That's nice. But when we're always striving, and I've been one of those people, lived in fear my whole life, where I wanted approval from different people, family, others, I never got anywhere. I lived in fear. I almost just broke my tooth. Thank God I got veneers. But the reality is, family approval is wonderful if it's for the right reasons. When you're doing things for your family because you want them to love you or you don't want to upset them, then you're really not doing it for your family. You're not doing it for yourself. Because, good example, a couple of years ago, I was supposed to go on a date. I called up the young lady. We were going to have a great time. She goes, my best friend's in town. I said, that's wonderful. She goes, she's only here till tomorrow. So I said to her, well, do you want to spend time? She goes, I already got time with you. I said, that's not the question. I said, because I'm pretty sure the whole time you're going to be with me, you're going to want to be with her. So we're not going to have a good time because you're thinking of her. So go enjoy her. We'll get together another time. And we talked about it. She said, well, I just didn't want to upset you. I'm like, you're not going to upset me. Why would I want someone to be with me knowing they wanted to be someone else? Think about that. And another thing, just because you're born into a family doesn't mean they're your family. There are other people out there. Space exploration. Well, I don't know. There's some cartoons on it I've watched. Lost in Space. They redid Lost in Space. I think it's amazing, but what are we looking for? Hopefully there are other planets out. There are other planets. Of course, I went to high school. I graduated in the bottom 3 of my class, and all 3 of us now are doing really well in life. The other 67, fuck them. And space exploration was really great because we get to see what's out there. I think we can learn a lot. I love reading a lot about NASA and all the different space journeys and everything they have. I can't understand half of it because, believe me, it's way the fuck over my head. I'd raise my hand above my hand, but it won't reach that far. I think it's amazing. We need to continue, but I think it's interesting that you have all the different countries sending something up there. Can't we all get along and work together like Sally Field said at the Oscars? Maybe not. Then we have reality shows. Now, fuck me, mother of Jesus. Where are they reality? You think about it. But here's the cool part. Just like social media and anything, people want to be other people. People want to act like other people. They want to live vicariously through other people. Nothing wrong with that. Some of the housewives, I don't get these people. Why don't they have other housewives besides the ones that supposedly have money, the ones that aren't cheating on their husband or the husband's cheating on them, or the lady that went to prison in Utah because she did something wrong, but God bless her, she needed to have her makeup. Or hell, what's the family, the Cresleys, I can't remember. Both of them are in jail. I mean, the reality is everything is scripted to a degree. You know, I dealt with a reality show once. It's called My Fucking Life. Enjoy it. Then I have what? Advance in artificial intelligence. So first of all, any of these people who think that they're smarter than artificial intelligence are right. First of all, men and women are creating this. I would think. I mean, I'm not the most educated guy. As I said, bottom 3. But when everybody says it's going to take over, think about it. Somebody has to create it for it to take over. Now, I'm sure there's certain things that are going to be automated. Sure, there's certain things that are going to take place. It's hard to figure out. But the reality is, no matter what the situation is, you need humans to get it started. And I'm just glad it doesn't exist right now because I wouldn't be needed. Let's see. Cybersecurity, threats, and data breaches. Seriously, people, we actually think there's such thing as cybersecurity. This is real. There are people out there hacking away, doing what they want. There are people out there in corporations that know what's going on. The government knows what's going on. I'm not an expert at it. Again, my opinion, and you're all welcome. I think it's freaking awesome to read about. I think espionage, anything you could see on TV is fucking real. I don't care what anybody says. These shows that Chris Hemsworth played on a Netflix show where he was like the cybersecurity genius made me really believe that Thor is a cybersecurity person. What the fuck? Travel USA. I think it's phenomenal. There's certain places I'd love to go around the world, but there's also great places to go around the United States. Learn our own country before I can learn others. I want to travel, but I think it's awesome. Summertime, like you said earlier, people get to go. You get to go camping. You get to go see family. You get to go see friends. You plan all these things, and it's a really good thing to do. Okay, what do we got here? I forgot that I could look that way. Then we have dog poop. Well, I got to tell you, until I started spending time with son about 8 years ago, and 4 years we spent together, I never took a dog for a walk. And let me tell you, I'm one of those people, when that little man and I went for a walk, we split once that poop happened. It was really interesting. She used to say to him, go caca. And I'd be thinking, we're in public. What the fuck you say? About 3 or 4 weeks, I'm like, hey, if you're not going to shit, let's go inside. And but I think it's interesting that people won't pick up after their dogs. Now, obviously that sounded hypocritical, but the dog wasn't mine. All right, what else we got here? The rise of remote work. Brilliant to a degree. Sad what happened with COVID, but COVID, all the trauma and all the sad things did some great things. Now, you real estate people, you're pretty much fucked because you have big buildings, the state. Think about the state. If you can screw your state, screw them in a positive, professional way and legal too. I mean, you know, I can't believe I said the word legal. You have people who own buildings and the state rents for them. You know, hopefully before the pandemic, they were smart enough to get a 10-year lease. I think it's great, but also it's very difficult because if you're working in an industry, how are you going to hold someone accountable? You have computers that can state you start at 8, end at 5, so you know if they're working and stuff. I think it's great, but it's also caused a lot of people to become germophobics even more, isolate a lot more. There's the good and bad of it. I think it's wonderful, but then again, it's just my opinion. Lying. The whole fucking show's a lie. I always love when people say a white lie. Where do you got to fucking go from one thing to another? What's the difference between a white lie? I think there's lying that people use not to hurt other people. I think there's lying that people use to manipulate, to do everything negative. Hey, look, I'm just one of those people that I think lying is okay at times. Now, you know, obviously it's okay when you're dealing with a child. That's all I got to say. Little child, lie like a mother to him. Say, hey, honey, you look fabulous. And, you know, the kid's got on a pair of jeans. He's got one tooth. He's got 3 pieces of hair off his head. I would think it's from the movies, The Hills Have Eyes, and I would run like a mother. All right, cold showers. I take a cold shower every year. Look at this. Every fucking morning, I've taken a cold shower. I haven't taken a warm shower in over 30 years. One time I had someone in my life, we took a warm shower together, and I almost thought I scalded myself, and it was only like 50 degrees. But cold showers are awesome. They're great for your skin. They're great for your body. They're great for aging. They're great for your health. They're great for your metabolism. And I'm living fucking proof, motherfucker. Onions. I eat 2 raw red onions a day. I love them. I make my own honey mustard because I don't trust restaurants because they might have something in there. You know, I'm a little paranoid. What a fucking idiot. So I go and I order mustard and some honey, put it in. But raw onions are good for the different medicinal, good for your health and everything. And they just taste good. I went to a restaurant and this guy comes up to me. And it's pretty funny. About 3 weeks ago, goes, "So you're working on your testosterone?" I said, "Excuse me, I don't know you. That's pretty personal." He goes, "No, I read where onions really help you with your testosterone." I said, "Look, if I need an onion to get a hard on, I definitely need to change my doctor." Sex in public. Now we're getting to some good shit. What's wrong with sex in public? Nothing. You don't want to have it to where you're around other people that would offend them. You don't want to do it around kids. But we have another show called, it's coming to my mind, Darkness Pures Pleasure. And it's going to explore a lot of the different things people can do and people can have. But it's fun. It's taboo. As I said with someone interviewing me the other day, they asked me, well, what's the most unusual, and I wouldn't call this unusual, place you've ever had sex? I said, I had sex in a church called the Newman Center, Sacramento, California, across from Sac State, on the altar. Now, if I'm going to burn, I'm going to burn like Dracula, baby. There you go. Churches. I think everybody has the opportunity to praise whoever they want, and I think it's wonderful. There's God. People have different people who they believe in. You have the Mormons, you have the Catholics, you have the Protestants, you have the Southern Baptists. You have so many. Choose whatever you want, but use it for the right reasons, not for the wrong reasons. So many things about churches and religion create negative. Well, if you don't do this, God. If you don't do this, it's about God. Everybody says God's the one. Oh, I don't know. I've never met the man. And when I do meet him, I'm going to sit there and say, thank you, Jesus. Elon Musk, brilliant mind, sociopath probably to a degree. Guy has done an amazing job. Now, he took over the new company. We'll see what happens. But the man has done some wonderful things. He's quirky. He's his own person. You want to attack him, go ahead and attack him. But here's how I look at it. Years ago, somebody got upset at Bill Gates and Paul Allen because they created Microsoft, and they said they're having a monopoly. Well, if you can't join the party and somebody else can have the monopoly on something, why not? Until you build something better or do something better, I got the monopoly on my mama. Okay, the fascinating world of insects. Oh, fuck this. Bugs make me creepy. There's a scene in Indiana Jones. Now, I'm not giving you anything for this new Indiana Jones because, Jesus, it looks like the dead came back. I don't know if the guy could fucking walk in this one. But the reality is, I'm scared of bugs. I am a man bitch. If there's bugs on this table right now, I will sit here until someone comes up and kills him. Now, I can get a paper cut. I'm fine. Cry my mom. But no, bugs, no, thank you. No, not me. Curation. Don't even know what the fuck that is. Oh, corruption. See? Curator, corruption. We all have a corrupt mind. We all have corrupt thoughts. We all do things that are corrupt in one way or another. Why not just celebrate it? Why not just enjoy it? You just don't want to go away for 3 meals and a hot cot. Now, see, that's interesting. People think 3 meals and a hot cot. First of all, it's not really 3 meals, and the cot's not hot. Money. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Yes. Money, there's that expression, money makes the world go round. I think it's the axis that the universe is on. I don't think it's money. But the reality is, money's great. It can be abused. We could need it. I think money's abused in many different ways. But I think it's interesting. You have people with a lot of money, and I've dealt with people with a lot of money, and they owe banks. They owe everybody. They overspend. They don't really understand their limits. They don't know. Like taxes. Still going to figure out who created taxes and hope to go back in time and murder the fucker before he got it out there. But the reality is, now I don't know, it could have been a woman because women are a hell of a lot smarter than men. So maybe she created him and he took credit. That's the shit that happens a lot nowadays. All right. The rise of cryptocurrency. I always find this interesting. I thought this actually said the rise of, another word for penis. But the reality is cryptocurrency, I don't know shit about it. I have so many people that are telling me it's great. Now, I know a friend of mine who's got $36,000 into it. So I said, well, if you want to sell it, he goes, I don't really know. It's a brilliant idea. It works, except for that guy that all you celebrities decided to endorse. And he's the only one in jail. Something wrong with that. You were all greedy fuckers. Okay, let's see what else we got. Casinos. All righty. Now you can tell I'm getting happy. All right. Because I'm a gentleman who deals with eating disorder, sex addiction. Oh, and the other one's called gambling. Going to Vegas in the past, I'd walk around. That ain't about the food. It ain't about the sex. gambling, the idea of winning something. Hell, I play the lotto every day. Even if there's nothing out there, I play the lotto. And I go to bed at night and I think I won the fucking lotto. I'm going to call everybody to let them know how cool I'm. I wake up in the morning and I check my bank account online. Still, I hate when they send you that thing from the bank that says, you are under $100. I know. You don't have to shame me and degrade me and let me know I'm poor. The Ponger. Oh, the power of gratitude. I'm like, son of a bitch, I got to get new contacts or else fucking see an eye doctor. Gratitude is the most beautiful thing. I mean, I'm grateful to have this opportunity to have fun, to share this with you, whether you like it or not. But I think we need to be grateful. I'm a very grateful person for everybody. Anybody that does anything, I say thank you. I don't let people undervalue themselves. If I'm working with them and I have to pay something, I'm going to tell them what they're worth and I'm going to pay them. But gratitude is beautiful. We live in a very ungrateful, fucking selfish, self-centered world where people think that they deserve things and have never earned it. I know that because my mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother raised my brother and I, and we were grateful for everything they've ever done. And the wonderful people in my life, I'm grateful. So gratitude is something we should all have. Then we have falling in love. That's an interesting one. I'm 61 years old and I've been in love once in my life. And then again, I fall in love with food every day. I fall in love with sex. Fall in love with a person is an amazing gift because I think a lot of times people fall in love with a situation or circumstances rather than the person sitting across from them. I don't care who your partner is, male, female, whatever pronoun you go by. I think it's a beautiful thing. I felt that once in my life. And if I never have it again, at least I had the experience, but I think it's a beautiful thing. Breakups. Well, what do you fucking know? Who put this together one after the other? Genius! The reality is they're difficult. And we're not just talking about romantic breakups, friendship breakups, work breakups, people you know. I had someone who was in my life up until last Thanksgiving, and I text back and forth, and I've never spoken to him, never responded. He thinks it's all because he owes me a lot of money. That has nothing to do. I don't want to be around toxic predators, people like that. It's hard because I love the guy. No matter what, people that we love, sometimes the best thing you can do, and if this is advice anybody can take from this, you don't walk away from somebody to teach them a lesson. You walk away because you learned your lesson. And let me tell you, I got a PhD in fucking lessons. Then we have social media's influence on Jersey. I'm not sure why Jersey is this, but actually it says society. Jersey needs a lot of fucking help. I mean, have you been to New Jersey lately? Come on. What was that guy's name? Ruth Crispy? Or no, what's his name? Crispy that was the governor? Come on. He wanted to run for fucking president. The guy couldn't run for his own fucking pants. I mean, let's get real. It's there. It's tough. It's beautiful. It's sad. It's bad. It's good. It's influential. It's detrimental. It all depends on what you want it for. Did a show a while ago called Living in My Mind and had a wonderful guest, Jai, and she talked about that. If you're looking for something on social media to make you feel better about yourself, all you need to do is look in the mirror. Like, look at me. There you go. Betting, another form of gambling. I love to bet. I had such a bad gambling addiction. I really sad. I'll never forget a friend of mine. We were just two pathetic human beings. We went to the park once and there were squirrels. And we were trying to figure out which squirrel was going to get electrocuted crawling across the wire. Well, about 3 hours later, both of us were sitting there and it never happened. So that's how pathetic I am. But I think betting, there's good things in betting. If you like horses, horses are beautiful. My mom, don't know how she did it. We'd go betting. We'd go to the horse track and she'd look at the color and she'd win. I'd sit there and like, well, this one by 4 lengths or 4 furlongs or whatever the fucking horse things are like a horse hand. I mean, seriously, a horse is 16 hands. I don't know. But if you ever seen a horse, you know what? That's like 12 hands. It's a big motherfucker. Escorts. Interesting. Why not? People always want to condemn guys because they're the ones paying. Well, there are women who pay for sex too for many different reasons and different ways. I don't think there's anything wrong. Think about it. Throughout history, women have been used and abused by men for sex, got nothing of it. Now, there's the dark side to everything. You have to be aware of that. You have so many sites out there that people use to meet other people. You don't know who you're going to meet. But when you're desperate for the money, and you're willing to do things and jeopardize your life, that's the hard part. There's safe ways to do it and clean ways to do it as well. And sorry, I'm just sitting on something. Oh, can't tell you. But anyhow, I think there's nothing wrong with it. And we're almost getting down to the pile, you lucky bat. Sex, here we go again. Whoever put these in order is a genius. Mark, wonderful man, wonderful man. It's a beautiful thing Just like anything, it's beautiful. It could be abused. People need to learn a lot more about it. Like earlier, the card had teen pregnancy. Learn about sex. Don't just do it because you're pressured. And there are a lot of people who are pressured into sex at whatever age. Just don't do it. But sex, it's beautiful physically and mentally. As I said, I was in love with someone once. I had the pleasure and the brilliance in my experience to experience that so-called thing of making love to someone where it was a mental and physical beauty at one time. And since then, no. All right, let's see what we got here. Award shows. I'm sorry, what they need to do is just get a big atomic suppository, stick it in each one of your asses and see who's going to explode. I think they're wonderful, but really, is it based upon who deserves it? We have so many people that want everything to be based upon this. Everybody needs this. They're wonderful. They sound good. There's some beauty of it, but there has to be a lot more ways of doing something. If you need to win an award to get validation, I'm with you 100%. It does add to careers. It does add to finances and many things. I think it's hard now when you talk about awards, not just shows, but so many kids who get participation awards. If that was the case, I'd have 1 million participation because I sucked when I was younger. Fuck, I couldn't win a race by myself and a snail. And the reality is, I still couldn't. But award shows are okay. Now we're down to the final two. Drum roll, please. Okay. Thank you, Jai. One more sneeze, please. And cats. Motherfucker, we have to end on these little fuckers. I swear to God, they're evil. They are the evil thing. I know, Jai, you got two, but then again, they're not here. So that tells us a lot. What a nice cat mom you are. And cats. I lived with someone, I'll never forget, her cat's name was Gordo. This little guy weighed 35 pounds. Now, Gordo, first night I spent there with her, scratching at the door. Let him in all night long, ass in my face, and I don't mean her, I mean the cat. They're evil. They're just, I think they're beautiful, but cats, and I had one cat named once, her name was Pookie. Loved her to death. Had to go to Washington because actually someone wanted to see me. And I don't mean Washington, D.C. It's a place called Washington Heights. And I left my cat at You Wash Doggy. Hopefully you guys are out of fucking business. Some girl stole some animals and she stole my cat. My cat's name was Pookie. And Pookie loved me. And I'm sure someplace she's out there still going, something like that. Last but not least, I don't have a niece, but if I did, I'd say last for my niece. 1 meal a day. Well, depends on what you consider 1 meal a day. There are people, anybody who goes to, it's not called the OK Corral, but it's a restaurant where it's all you can eat and sits there for 4 or 5 hours. That's 1 meal throughout the whole day. That's a continuum. I used to go to a place called Salad and Soup or Soup and Salad. I'd sit for 4 or 5 hours until they'd throw me out. And they're like, sir, you've eaten enough for 5 people. I paid enough. So there's a mindset. But I eat maybe 1 meal a day. Sometimes I'll have 2. But if it works for you, do it. But make sure you enjoy it. Make sure you enjoy every bite because 1 meal a day it works. I'm living proof that that's all you need. I want to thank you for listening to the babble, the ramble, the excitement, the genius that I created today. If you'd like to share your opinion on anything we're talking about, you can now text us. You can call us, leave a message. We'll share it on the air. If you want to communicate with us, please feel free. We're always trying to grow at what we do. We want to have a lot of fun, but everybody else's opinions count. And you'll never be negated. But yeah, please share with us what you think. This is Dennis. Thank you for a wonderful time. Thank you for listening. The good thing is nobody could turn this off because no one's here. Thank you.